just going to get started with some introductions.
Yeah.
So, I'm Cademan. I'm a graduate student here.
You can't see it.
You cannot see it.
Oh my goodness.
It's so. I told you the color scheme was bad.
That is disgusting.
That is actually disgusting. Okay.
It's okay. The pictures aren't actually of us, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It
Doesn't actually matter.
I'm going to be a master's student here in the fall. So, yeah,
Okay, let me
I'm
see
one
if I
of
can
your
look
student
at it.
managers.
You mean Ewan's not actually like a 7-year-old man?
Sometimes I
He
wonder.
kind of looks like Ewan when he gets older.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's I'm
He
not,
does that a lot, actually.
or it's the face in the desk.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah. Talk about yourself.
Yeah. So I'm Ewan. Hi guys. You all know me at this point. I might be a senior. I'm an international relations major with and a philosophy major with our religion minor, and I am the last of the global development studies minors because they killed my program. Woo.
And then Mariana is not here, but she is another one of the student managers. She's at an internship right now. She's a junior, but she's a chemical engineer. So that's her. All right. So nobody else is here. So we're gonna skip to Heather. So please, can you tell us your role?
Want me to come up there, or am I sitting here?
I mean, hold up. Probably the audio saying you're too loud or getting mic interference. So I'm gonna.
Okay, I'll stand up so
You
maybe.
can just
Yeah,
stand
so
up.
tell us your position
Okay,
and like where you like to go.
so.
Oh, you're so washed out.
Heather Mendez. So I was recently promoted to the service manager. So those of you that didn't know, I've taken over Liz's old position. So it happened around commencement. So I'm now your service manager. So fun facts about me. I'm married, and I have 3 daughters, and they're all your ages. And then what do I like to do? I love to read. I also like to play pool, and I'm pretty good at it. I've been to Vegas. And then what else do I do? I'm not sure what else. I just love to be with my family. So I'm happy that you guys are all here, and we're gonna have a really fun year. We have a lot of exciting, fun things throughout the year that we're gonna do as a group, as a supervisor group. So we're gonna try to do some trips and do some fun things in the dining house. So we have some fun things planned.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. Next on the list is someone who's not here. Can you stick them?
Well, let's talk about Todd. So Todd, Kurtz is our food service director. He is currently on medical leave, and he should be returning, I'm hoping, from sometime in the end of September.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine. And then we have Kyle Redmond. Oh, the picture didn't show. There was a picture of him on the slides, but it didn't show.
Yes.
He's really tall and a ginger, so you'll recognize him. He's the production manager, so he's going to be over at Millcrest a lot, I feel like. And he'll be helping like create menus and making sure food's ordered and all that jazz. So that's kind of him. And then we have a couple sous chefs. Lucas will be here at some point today, but Alex will not be here. So just gonna do a quick intro. This is Alex. You'll see him around Millcrest in Commons. And I asked him what his favorite dish to cook was, and he called it his wings. So apparently he makes really good chicken wings. So good that they're just called his wings. So he's never made them for me though, so I can't, agree with that. And then we have Ralph and Will. Ralph is the dish room supervisor, and my guess is most of you know Ralph. If not, you will eventually know Ralph because he's just awesome. And then Will, he's also very tall, and he's mostly over at Commons, and he is our utility lead, so he helps work with a lot of the porters and help moving things around and whatnot.
You guys all know who Will Ramos is? Let's know.
He's very much a New Yorker.
Yeah.
You hear him before you see him.
Yep. It's very loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So now we have Zane.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Alright. Hi, everybody. I'm Zane. For those of you that remember, I was the upper crest supervisor last year, but this year I'm coming back down and I'm going to be front office supervisor again with Hannah and Michelle. So I'm excited to be back doing that. This will be either my 6th or my 7th school year at Calvin. Can't remember, I'm losing track now. They're all kind of blending together, but I guess some hobbies for me. I like to go to concerts. I'm a big golfer. I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy going out. Anything else that we need to?
Just whatever you feel like sharing with the group. So.
I mean, I feel like that was pretty much it. I'm excited to work with all of you this year. I think it's going to be a fun school year. So, thank you.
Yes.
Woohoo! Perfect.
All right. Anna.
I'm Anna, another service supervisor with Zane and Michelle. I'm starting to learn more of your names if you worked here this summer, but if you didn't work here this summer, then I'm sorry, I will ask you your name 100 times. Hobbies, I shot archery in high school and was top 50 of the state, actually. I still shoot for fun, but not as often, because now I have to use a big bow and it's really hard to hold. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. All right. Now we have Michelle.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Shears. I'm the newest service supervisor here. I just started actually the beginning of August. I'm really excited to be on the team. I've already worked with a lot of young people in my previous role as service manager at the restaurant I'm coming to you from, but it's my first time in a school setting. So there's a lot of new things for me, new adjustments to make, but so far so good. And I would really like to thank Tianci and Daniel Parks especially for helping me since I've been new and supporting me, and I hope that we can really partner together and establish a relationship of helping each other because we're both new. I'm new, you're new, but together we can do this. I'm married. My husband's name is Michael, so Michael and Michelle Shears. And my favorite thing to do is to hang out with him. He's the coolest, so I kind of talk about my husband a lot, so I apologize in advance. We just adopted a couple of kitties, and they're very adorable. We also have a dog named Gigi, and she's a Staffordshire Pit Bull Terrier. She's adorable, and so that's typically what you need to know about me, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you, you guys.
And next we have Riley, which his title is wrong. He's the upper crust service supervisor.
Hi, my name is Riley. I am the upper crust supervisor. I see some familiar faces.
Everyone's so
I like cars, I guess. I love racing and legally, of course.
What types of cars?
Fast acceleration that's not electric. So just about anything. Kind of all I had.
cool.
So Riley came to us at the beginning of August as well, and he has taken over Zane's position for upper crust now. So he'll be your supervisor for up there if you want.
Alright.
Thank you, Riley.
Yes, thanks Riley. So nobody else is here, so we can just go
I
and
see
go
a
into
Todd
the-
Veenstra coming.
Oh, is Todd?
I see he's walking in now.
This is Todd Veenstra. You want to just
Let's all
kind of walk
clap when he walks in.
Did you get that message, Ewan?
Yeah, I got it. Working on it. It should be working. Just use this.
Hey, also, this fun fact, it's Ewan's 3rd year anniversary today, so.
Oh,
Yeah, cheers.
wow, happy anniversary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to shout out Shakina too. You're the best, appreciate you.
bickering.
Yeah, there's gotta be
Yeah,
some.
it's gonna be interesting.
There's gotta be some heavy editing going on, but behind the scenes.
So let's turn the camera so
Yeah.
Vinstra can talk.
Yes. I am working on it. Alright.
I will go back.
Yeah. Okay. I apologize for everyone that we're using the Teams to communicate, but this is the best way, so if you want to silence your notifications for a bit, that's probably for the best.
Todd, welcome.
Hi Todd, welcome. Come on in. You're next.
Yeah.
You
You
are.
can just start right away.
Just walk right into it.
Yeah.
It's a nice little cold open.
Sounds like I'm on the hot seat.
You are.
I'm not prepared, so I'm good.
Just give us a general overview of what you do.
Yeah, I didn't create an event because I'm stupid.
You know, a lot on
It's a
your
small
plate.
group.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
These are just new supervisors.
No,
We
got
have
there.
some new student supervisors.
Student supervisors.
If you're new, raise your hand.
Well, welcome. So, I'm Todd Veenstra, not to be confused with Todd Kurtz or Todd Bennett, because there's 3 Todds, just so you know. A little bit about myself. Been at Helvin for almost 2 years now. Been in food service for 35 years. Spent a little time in the military, went to culinary school, and then worked in restaurants. So this is kind of on the. This is what actually probably of all the jobs I've had, this is probably the most fun. So I wouldn't say less stressful, but more fun. So my favorite dish to cook, that's changed over the years. Used to be I would have said a duck breast with apricot ginger sauce, which that used to be. I had a time where I was in more in fine dining restaurants where that would have been my go-to. It's changed a little bit over the years. I just went to Europe, so there was a few things in France that I love, and I don't even remember how to say them. So a lot of seafood dishes. I love seafood at this point. So what else do you need to know?
That was basically it. Kinda give us
Production manager is so production manager. What does that mean? That so I'm basically going to be the chef at Commons. Kyle will be the chef here. The production manager and chef is really interchangeable as far as how we use those names. So just not. I thought I'd clarify that. So,
Yes.
all right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, yeah, William's walking up.
Okay. Give me, like,
I just can't see anything.
yeah, that's
So
a
that's where you
problem.
look the window and see who's next.
Yeah, basically, pretty much, yeah.
It's kind of how it's been trickling in.
Wait,
Yeah.
who is the last one?
Todd Bennett.
Todd Bennett. So he's actually he's a cook. So he is upstairs in Upper Crust. He'll be the grill cook up there. He started last semester.
Oh. Never mind, I figured out what the problem was.
Yeah. So prerequisite, you need to be named Todd, Will, Anthony, or Andrew, because we have multiple of all those people.
Oh, don't sit down. Come
You're
on
next.
up.
Right
You're
on the
next
hot
to
seat.
testing.
OBS virtual. Yes.
As soon as.
I can see it now.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Here's when you make an overview, positions,
Turn on audio.
and then like
Speakers that I don't want that to be speaker.
you got so many things. You need-
Turn the volume off.
Okay. You should be able to. Let me see if I can get this. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to deal with like technical issues.
Everybody else is well.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Good time.
Good time.
I think
You should be good.
because Minsa was in one, and now I'm confused. Meeting in general. Okay, we'll stop that one. Meeting in supervisor training week in person. Okay, that's the only one. We're still recording. We still got the virtual camera going. Okay. Well, worst comes to worst, I can post the VODs.
At least they can hear it now.
They should be able to hear us, but it's gonna be kind of odd. Present. Why is it? Yeah, that was my bad. That was
That's
my
right. I'll flip through.
That's okay. Let's just move on.
So yeah.
We won't figure it out
Ready
now,
for me?
so they can
Yeah.
get back to doing what they want.
Perfect. Yep, we're good.
So good morning, everyone.
That was my bad. I knocked it.
My name is William Boyette. I am the Assistant Food Service Director here at Calvin. For CDS, I oversee the dining halls and also the retail operations. So that's Commons, Norcrest, Johnny's Pete's, concessions, and the micro markets. So first off, I just want to say thank you all for coming. We're really excited to have you for the supervisor training. You know, everyone here in this room is essential to our operation running smoothly. Again, everyone in this room, all of us sitting in this room are essential to our operations running the best that they can be. Over these next couple of days, we're going to cover a lot of content, from team leadership to operational best practices. So it's going to be really essential for everyone that's attending this training to, you know, really engage into what we're going to discuss. The things that we're going to discuss are going to be things that you face in your day-to-day in your supervisory role. So, you know, share your insight, you know, be engaged, ask questions, you know, really try your best to soak up the things that we're gonna be downloading onto all of you, because it's essential. Again, everyone in this room is essential to our operation running as smoothly as possible. So, my office is over at Commons in the Dining Services office. My door is always open. If you have any questions, concerns, you just want to come over and give me a high five, I'm down for all of that. You know, your success is our success, and not just your, you know, success in your roles, but also your academic success as well. We care as a team. We care about you as a whole. So, you know, if there's anything I can ever do for you, please reach out. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Dawn, Jen, do you guys want to give like a little introduction to what you do? Yeah.
I'm Jenny. I work at, actually in both buildings. You'll see me over there sometimes on Sundays or we're shut down in Commons. I'm the pantry supervisor over there. So if you have any problems with salads or need something, that's where you'll find me.
I'm Dawn Nichols. I'm here mostly at Norcrest, except in the summer. If you have any questions, just come back and see me.
Luis, do you want to go next?
Sure. So, next person we are very happy to announce, is Luis. He is now our new hospitality director.
Yeah.
That wasn't great tracking, but it'll be fine.
I think everybody can hear me, right? Well, I just wanted to say you're very welcome to be part of this team. We're super excited to have you. The last couple of weeks, one of the things that come to mind is the word trust, right? So as I was thinking about last night, because I didn't have like much prepared to just kind of introduce myself, I wanted to ask for you to trust us as your leaders, but also for us to trust you as the supervisors that you're going to be and the people that you're going to be leading. So there is 5 things that I want to encourage on today, right? The first one is your intent and motive, right? When you're supervising people and helping leaders and leading up and also cascading down information, focusing the intent or motive, trying to understand the people that you are leading more than trying to be understood. The second thing that I thought about was building a good track record. If you have employees or students that come to you and asking you for help, or you have a leader that mentioned to you an opportunity, always be receptive, but always follow through. If you're not following through, the people that you're leading, more likely they're gonna be like, well, I can't trust you because you didn't follow through the first time when I mentioned it, right? The next layer to that is availability, right? If you're not an expert in the station that you're overseeing or in the part of the building where you're going to be helping the operation, try to go to one of us, to an expert on the content, and try to figure out ways that we can help you develop on those areas. Because in reality is that when you're a leader, you're always in the stage. So there's going to be times where you're required to teach someone, you're required to mentor somebody, and if you don't have that availability, they can't trust you, right? And we're talking about the big word, which is trust. The next part is fundamental, but focus on your character, right? Are you somebody that have integrity? Are you somebody that's bringing value and somebody that's caring for people, somebody kind, gentle, somebody that is faithful to you believe in what you're doing every day, right? People are always looking for those things, and if you don't connect with the employee of the student that you're overseeing, then more likely they're not going to want to follow your lead. And for us, it's so essential to connect before we can correct. That really, that's a priority that we want to make sure that we impart on you moving forward. The last piece is very important, but be self-aware, right? If we're not self-aware as leaders or supervisors, then half of the battle is over before we even started. I always tell people, coachability goes both ways. So if you are here today, you're a coach, right? You're going to be coaching people, you're going to be mentoring people, and there is two aspects of that. The first one is you want to be a cheerleader, right? Like, hey, great job, saying you're killing it. Thank you so much. A high five, like Will said, right? Or like, hey, how's your day going? We're going to have a great day today. So you're cheerleading people, right? But one of the most essential pieces about being a coach is being able to bring sustenance. If you're not bringing sustenance for the people that you're overseeing, and we're not preparing ourselves to do that, then that self-awareness factor is missing, because then you're not looking at yourself every day and how can I improve? How can I be better? How can someone help me? How can I help somebody? So overall, introducing myself, really what I wanted to tell you is that my name is Luis, as you can see right here in the presentation. But really what I'm looking for this year is for us to build a team that can trust each other. So I am open, receptive, and intentionally looking for trust in my team, and I expect my team to try to at least be intentional and give your leaders and your mentors an opportunity to do the same. But I'm super excited. I heard great things about this group of people here, and make no mistakes. I know that sometimes it's lonely when you are supervising people and you don't get that much affirmation. But my first 3 weeks here, all the managers that are here present, they've been talking so highly about you and what you do great. So the affirmation is there. Maybe we just need to be more outspoken if that's needed. But just know that sometimes when you're feeling like you need to talk to us or find a moment like, hey, I just need some encouragement today. I don't know, I'm dealing with life, right? Life can be tough. Come to us. You know, some of us are pretty good encouragement, you know, and I can see that. We have a great team of people. I'm excited to learn from you. I'm excited to work with you, and I'm excited to serve you. So that's it. That's all I got. Thank you. Yep.
Molly, do you want to come up?
Yeah.
Next?
Cool. Okay, perfect. I think it's working now.
My name? Okay. Just kidding. So I'm Molly. I know a few of you. I'm over all of retail, so that includes Pete's, Johnny's, micro markets, and concessions, which we have a lot of fun things going on with concessions. This year, football, go Knights. Yeah, you'll see me here, there, and everywhere. If you have a question, I'm always here to try and answer it, and if I don't know, I will find the answer from someone. So, yeah, super excited. Woo!
Thanks, Molly. Amanda, do you want to give an introduction?
Sure.
Kind of what you do?
You don't have to come up
Some
if you.
fun facts about you if you want.
I'm Amanda Harper. I'm the director at for catering and hotel. So I oversee all of the catering that's on both sides of campus, both at Prince and on this side, and then all of the hotel operations. I have been here for 5 years and done all of the things. So down to doing dishes in the dish tank. So I think that's probably the biggest thing for you guys is I want you to know that yes, we're going to ask you to do all the random things, but feel empowered that you can delegate those people, move people around. Always make sure that they're busy. If you're running around, chances are someone's leaning. And so to balance that out, so you're not always running, find someone else to do the other task that you need to get done. So So I think that's probably the biggest challenge over here is you can't see everyone all the time. So if you're running or if you see someone running, like literally running, there's someone that's probably leaning and can help you out. So that would probably be it. And then same way with not just within the dining halls, retail. Johnny's will have a line out the door, and if Commons is super slow, you know, just send someone down. Just, hey, will you just check on Johnny's just to make sure they're doing okay? And we can send someone down for 20 minutes to get them out of the weeds. And then, you know, same way with the hotel. We have a breakfast going on at 7 in the morning with a 300-person conference. You know, breakfast might be crazy, so we can send some people, like if you're slow, put it in the chat, see if anybody else needs support around campus. That I think that's going to be the biggest thing that I would like to bring to this team, and sort of with Todd, he'll be here next week, but making sure that we're utilizing the people the most efficient way all over the whole campus, not just in the one segment that you're in. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we'll be talking about that more later in the training. We have some. There's a lot of things that has been going on behind the scenes that if you've been here, you've gotten some hints of. If you haven't been here, buckle in. It's gonna be a bit of a ride.
Yeah. So thank you all for those of you that came, kind of took a step out of your normal schedule to come introduce yourselves. We really appreciate you all.
Yep.
You are free to go should you need to be doing other things. But thank you as well for coming.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You guys are great.
Okay.
Oh, now it shows. That's really
Oh,
cool.
yeah, update.
Yeah, it did update.
Okay. So now we're going to go over some essential skills. This will be a really short, little brief introduction to kind of how to run shifts and whatnot. So do you want to take the first slide?
I'll take the first. Yep. So shifts are gonna look pretty similar to how they've looked in the past. There's gonna be a couple of things though that are really important that we need to make sure that we're doing well. So you guys gotta make sure that you're arriving on time. That's still the 15 minutes early, right, before the rest of the people arrive. That's so you know we can make sure that we get instructions from our front of house people, making sure that like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's special things. Here's anything that needs to be done. Here's what whatever it is. We need to make sure that happens. Also, so we can do position sheets, so that way we can make sure we're everyone has a role assigned when they come in, making sure that they can immediately go to that role. And just doing a walk around, seeing if there's anything that needs to be done before, or anything that should be done before like service gets into effect, so that way you can delegate that once people come in. The other thing is that we're really encouraging you guys to split the dining hall more. So some people are already doing this, which was great, but we need to make sure that we are sort of splitting like side 1, side 2, so that way each has a supervisor that's kind of designated there, and is like sort of running that side, making sure things are going smoothly there. We're keeping an eye on people. We're like moving, making sure things are moving as they should be. The one reason for that is just because sometimes we have holes in our like supervising, right? Like there are just times where having one person on the floor, like one person sort of patrolling the floor, really isn't effective, because basically we know our student workers, sometimes they like to do little loops, the no crest circle, right? Sometimes we fall into that bad habit. I know I have in the past, but by keeping the dining hall sort of divided, we sort of make sure that people stay on task, keep working on the things that they should. We're also getting you guys timers. This is a really helpful thing. So we're getting you guys timers for 2 reasons. One's for counts, and 2 is for meal breaks. So the timers for counts, it's a 15-minute, right? Every 15 minutes you're supposed to get a count. So that's just a reminder. you both guys can both have one, and that way you can make sure that counts getting given to kitchen regularly. If they don't have that number, it's hard for them to know what they need to fire up next, how many people we're at, how many people we're still expecting, what's going on the floor, because they're back there, they're doing their thing, they're prepping, they're firing, all that sort of deal. So we need to make sure that's a key line of communication for them that we need to make sure is continuously updated. The other reason is meal times. So we are open later here at Knollcrest than we have been ever, basically. This place is open till 8 p.m. now. We are open late. So on weekdays, that's 8 p.m. we're closing. There's two reasons for that. One is that Calvin, the client, right, they wanted more continuous service, but they also wanted to, it's also for our benefits that Upper Crust doesn't get slammed with all those people coming out of late night labs at and hopefully that'll take, it's 7:30, and so hopefully that'll take some pressure off.
It's more or less, we're open till 8 o'clock now, so dinner will be 5 to 8, Monday through Friday.
Yep.
It's to accommodate those students that are have late night class, those students that have other activities going on,
A lot of athletes.
practice, so they can get here in enough time
Yeah.
to be able to have a meal. That was one of the things that we heard off the survey, last year from, some of the students, that we weren't open late enough. There was enough time to get to the dining halls. So, Crave Dining had heard that, and so that's why the hours have changed.
Yep.
And then breakfast also will be opening earlier, instead of, at 7:30, it'll be open at 7. So, breakfast will be 7 to 10, and then lunch will be 11 to 2.
So with that, we gotta make that's one of the important reasons that we gotta have those timers for meals. So I know sometimes we have questions later, so if you wanna write it down or keep it, I appreciate it, but we're just to let's get through this a little bit more. Yeah. So with that, right, we want you guys to go home. We don't want you here super late. So that sort of timer for meals will help you guys make sure that you get through shutdown at a reasonable time. We're also making it this is policy now. You should do 2 groups for dinners, especially for dinners, because we have noticed that there was a significant difference between when people got out, if they ate as one single group, and the two half shutdowns, especially for dinners here. The people who did the 2 half shutdowns were more often on time or early, and so that's helpful for you guys. I know it's a little less community interaction, which is unfortunate, but it will help you guys, be done and have energy basically to do school as well. So the 15 minutes is to make sure that we're not going over that, but also to help you guys make sure that we're having timely shutdowns. The other thing, please use those timers. One supervisor with each group. I think that's pretty good.
So what time are we starting, what time are we sending the students for the first?
Yeah, so I think that there should be some discretion for you guys. If we're slow, earlier is fine. I would say that first group should probably go at 7:30. But I don't know. We don't really know yet. We don't know how flow's gonna be. So I would say do not have your first group go any later than 7:45. So I'd say 15 minutes before closing, have your first group go.
Use your discretion.
But use discretion. If it's busy still, such is life sometimes. Otherwise, when discretion is good, use your discretion. The other thing is that when we're doing shutdown, we gotta make sure things keep moving. We gotta make sure there's a lot of stuff now. We'll talk about this on day 3 when we have most people here, basically. But we have the new standard operating procedures, our SOPs, and those are super important. You gotta make sure you're going through every step on shutdowns. With your students, you gotta make sure you do your inspections for every station. You gotta make sure that they are ready to get sent home. We'll talk about that more later though. So make sure those audits are done. Make sure we're moving things through.
The biggest thing is, like Amanda said, keep them busy. They can have them start cleaning the lines up, get it all
Yep.
squared away, so by the time we go to shutdown at 8 o'clock, all they have to do is dump food and wipe the lines down. So you don't let them just be standing there on the line, not doing anything. They could be sweeping, they can start wiping the coolers down, they can start,
Yep.
wiping the station around it. Just have it all ready to go, so when they come off a break, we're shutting down, dumping food, and we're out. We are not changing the time for night crew. So you guys are we'll be closing at 8, starting to clean at 8, and night crew will be coming in at 8. So we have a system in place where we're gonna have night crew work from the back up, so whoever's on tables, will work from the back to the front. So, and they will come behind us, but we'll explain that more.
Yeah. One thing on that is, so night crew is changing just because it used to be 7:30, right? We're moving it to match when we're closing now, and so since we're closing at 8, we'll be moving our night crew to 8. It's an 8 to 9:30 shift on weekdays, and a 7:30 to 9 on weekends. So it's gonna be late.
What about, so we close at 8, night crew starts at 8, what if there's still like lots of people?
So there's still people.
We'll work around them, so whoever's on tables, I would just start from the back forward and work around those people. We gotta start our closing, so I would just start working your way and having them, they'll see you guys, wiping tables down and whatnot, and that'll kinda give them a clue, okay, hey, we're closed now, whatnot. The supervisors know too, if they're really lingering, they have the empowerment of being like, hey, you guys were closed now, we're starting to clean up. So,
I would say
right now, I would just start working around them, cause we are closed.
generally speaking, if they're here 15 minutes after close, you have the right to kick them out, or at least give them a reminder that, hey, we're closed now. Don't kick it. Definitely, you definitely have the right to kick them out after 30 minutes. They could get you say, hey guys, please leave. I mean,
But nicer than that.
nicer than that, but sometimes that works.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna close line too early, right?
Not necessarily. Because
like the salads online.
During the school year, it's a different
it's a different operational system. We're gonna have things. Pretty much all stations should remain open until close. So, yeah, there's gonna most because that's an expectation for the client that we will have basically all stations operational until we're closed. So as soon as 8 o'clock hits, though, we can totally start tearing down. There's nothing stopping us there.
Can we tear down the half lines though, assuming they're like defeated?
Yes. Yeah, that will be okay.
That will be given the green light by your supervisor.
Yeah. So the FOH, that'll be given by Anna and Michelle. That's the sort of thing that their discretion is.
Alright, so we're gonna go over shift reports a little bit. They're not super complicated, so you should be able to get them done pretty quick after you've sent your students home. You are asked to stay a little bit later, just to try and fill those out. Always date them. We
Please.
try to keep a file of all the shift reports, and so we can know, if there's concerns brought up in multiple shift reports, we can have them dated and see, how long has this been concern going on, can we address this, whatnot. So please date them. Write down everything that happened, but short form. You don't have to write paragraphs. Just major events, if someone didn't show up, if someone was late, if someone had a sub. You've all done shift reports for the most part. But if you have questions, you can ask one of us or one of your supervisors who will be there. Supervisors will be there for the entirety of your shift, every shift. Is that right? Okay, so you will always have a supervisor to ask questions, to look to if you need support. So, yes, but in terms of shift reports, make sure we're going to have cleaning tasks for the day on a little sheet. We're working on that. There'll be a little check off if you've done that or not. That's just to try and make it so that we don't have to deep clean things quite as often, because they're just kind of being cleaned regularly. That'll make our lives easier in the long run. And then if there's something you think we need to do, or something you need help with, or the vacuums are broken again, there'll be a little box, fill that out. Anything you might need that we're out of, whatnot, put that there. And then make sure you're signing it and placing it in the filled section of the shift reports folder. Because sometimes they're not put in there, and then we're missing shift reports, we know where they are. So make sure you're putting them in the filled section so we can go through those as managers and try and see what needs to be done.
Only put them in the filled section if you're the last shift of the day. So don't put it in if you're breakfast, because we use this, it's the same sheet for breakfast, lunch, dinner, right? Or breakfast, lunch, upper crust. Upper crust now has a box, so we finally got stop. You don't have to do that silly thing where you were, writing in the bottom corner there. We fixed it. We actually, you guys have a box now. You matter too. Sorry that it took so long to get that, but it does exist now. We've also changed the cleaning rotations, so we'll have a printout of those for you guys, and if you don't get to it, it's a deal. It's not a deal breaker, if that makes sense. Like, let us know if that happens, and then a little explanation of why it didn't happen, because we need to know if things aren't getting done. We get it, stuff happens, right? But we need to make sure we want those to get done as often as possible. If there's a problem, like something super major happened and like it was just too chaotic, and so you didn't actually get that done because for whatever reason, let us know, and it'll probably be okay, right? Like if there's an ambulance situation, right? By all means, let's work on taking care of that first, and then instead the cleaning task, right? Like, emergency situations take priority. But let us know, right? Communication is the most important thing. If you don't communicate, we can't help you guys, right? We are not psychics, despite our what you may think otherwise sometimes.
Do we have an example?
Yeah.
Of the shift report or no?
We do.
You want to be detailed as much as possible on your shift report. So.
Detail but brief.
Yeah.
It's a fine balance. If you're not sure that you can do both, that's okay. I suck at being brief. That's how I got this job.
Yes.
But yeah, lean on the side of detail rather than brief. Also, try and make your print legible. It's very helpful for us. I also suffer from bad handwriting because no one taught me how to.
You get the example.
I will get the example. Give me 1 minute.
Just tell them and you can just
Yeah,
where it-
Oh yes,
Where is it?
the examples are in. So they're in the top drawer on the SM desk, which is the first desk in Hillcrest, and it's like the top drawer there. If you pop it open, there's the shift report binder. It's in there, and then at Commons, they are where are they? They are in the binder, and they're on the. Did we put them on the top shelf because you just reorganized it? So I'm not.
I think they're on the top shelf.
Okay, they're on the top shelf over the front of house, the left front of house computer. So you'll grab them from there.
There's examples of what to write.
Yes, and there are examples of what to write. There are also examples.
Kind of glance over and see what we would like you to put in there.
Yeah, and there's boxes for subs for no call, no shows. And for call-ins. We also have a new system for other things, and we'll talk about that on D3. So, if you have questions about any of this, about attendance, hold off. We'll get to those later.
We kind of talked about this, using timers instead of phones. We're moving to a no phones on the shift system. Phones were a huge problem last semester. They still kind of are an issue. We don't want supervisors or students to be using their phones on shift. So we're going to a no flexibility policy on phones. That's why we're giving you timers in part, because I know, I did it. I used my phone to make sure I was checking the time when I wasn't around a clock, to make sure I was getting the counts correctly, and then also to check time when you're eating. But we'll give you timers instead so that you'll be able to stay on time. What?
Where will we find this?
We'll give them to you at the beginning of the shift. They're in a folder. Or no.
I'll put them on one of the whiteboards because they're magnetic too. So.
Huh.
Yeah. So, yes. And I know a lot of you use your phone to use your calculator app. We have a calculator. So
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. We have a calculator for you for doing counts. If simple math is hard,
No
I use
phones.
a calculator.
No phones. No phones. We're most likely gonna put the calculators in the checker desk, so you can just
Yeah.
take it out of the drawer.
And if you're I don't remember what the technical term is, but if you have number dyslexia like I do, I'm sorry. We'll work. I will struggle too with you.
Yes.
But you can take one of those calculators with you, so that way you don't forget the numbers or mix them up.
I know a lot of times we use phones to communicate, but you will have a service supervisor with you at every shift. You can talk to them. Like if you're understaffed and need people, they can reach out on Teams for you. But we're moving to no phones just because it is distracting and it's unprofessional, and we want to make sure we're looking professional and alert for all the students that we're serving.
With that being said, if you see any of our front of house people on their phones, that's like our supervisors and our dear manager. That's because they're probably on the messenger app and they're communicating to everyone about what's going on. The same goes for us. Although if you look over and we're not on the messenger app, you can feel free to tell us off. That's I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
They very limited.
Very limited. You should not see any of us chronically on them unless we're on break.
We write that on the reports.
Yes.
Actually, yes, please do. Yeah, accountability is serious. We're taking.
During service times, nobody should be on their phones.
Accountability is super serious. We're taking that very seriously. So at all levels, if you feel like we're out of place, or if your FOH supervisor is out of place on something, write it down, please. There are forms for more serious matters, if it is something like that is super serious. But if it's something like just like a behavior thing that's like, hey, I saw Cademan on his phone for like 2 minutes and he was walking around the dining hall. I thought we were doing no phones, and then basically we'll do an internal policing, and he'll be lined up, he'll be taken out back and dealt with.
Whoa.
No, but I better head down the pod.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, so just wanted to update you with that. You are the supervisor on the shift, so you are going to be enforcing that as well as kind of living that out for your students, as are we. So yeah, we talked about staggering meal times, why that's important. For night and afternoon crew, we're creating a binder for all of y'all, and there'll be like a checklist for you to go through as a supervisor, which will just help you kind of organize how you go through night crew. It'll help with flow, and whatever else. I know you've made them.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about these because it's what I've been wanting to do ever since I got this job. I'm not gonna lie, you guys know me, I'm the cleaning one. I like to make sure all of the night crews and afternoon crews run really well. And basically what I've done is I've created, so there's 2 audits basically for you guys to fill out. These aren't for your students because it would be really weird if we had an audit for night crew vacuum, because it would just be vacuum the dining hall in like three steps, and then you'll be like, okay, supervisor, sign off on this. So instead of having like weird sub ones, we just made a big one, and it's got every single step that you need to do for a night crew, and they're in order. So please do them in that order. Obviously, if there's a problem, you can do them out of order, but like try to do them in the order they're in. They're in that way for a reason. There's also information on how to sweep, like with both types of brooms. So that way, if you need training reference materials, you guys can use that for them. There's also a mop thing.
Will there be training videos of you demonstrating for us to show our employees?
You know what? I can make that happen. Those will be coming out at a to be determined date now that you've mentioned that. But there's pictures, and they have arrows on them. And they're color coded. So if there's a
to make these as easy to follow as possible. And there's vacuuming guides, and there's instructions on how to clean the vacuums, all of them, except for the weird push ones at Commons. Those are archaic and weird, and I don't even think we've bought the vacuum bags for those in like 5 years. I'm gonna be real, like I don't know why they still exist here. They work though, but don't use them. But yes, they're gonna be at both buildings. So if your students have questions, direct them to the binder or teach them through the binder.
We also have this binder that I just created and we'll put together. All of the intros that are in all of the station binders are put into one binder so that if you have students that are training and other people on the station are using that binder for the checklist or anything, you guys get this, we're gonna put it in the office. I don't know where we're gonna put it yet, but it'll be somewhere easy to grasp. Has all the stations in it, they'll be able to flip through, read the overview, or if you have any questions on any policy changes, you can go through and read this yourself. It is very helpful, so it's 3 pages.
We're looking for you guys, like I said, you are eyes and our ears. You will be the ones training with your students. So it's probably, as we get through the later in the week and we go through the binders and everything, it will be your guys' responsibility to go through the checklist and check everybody off before they are even allowed to. So that's why we're asking you to split the deputies in half in here. So one of you will be responsible to checking out that person on each station on one side, and somebody to the other. We are here to coach, and we as a team as well, we will be helping out on the floor. You'll see them on the floor. The student managers will be on the floor more. So the goal is, when we are in service, we are on the floor, so we can help you guys as well. So we're not just leaving you home. We'll be out there. If someone doesn't know how to do something, I'm walking by and they don't know how to do it, I'm jumping in. So it's not gonna just all be on the shoulders. It's the student manager's responsibility, it's the house supervisor's responsibility to be out here helping.
We're gonna pass around this example binder here. This is just a general station binder. Every station is gonna have a binder like this. It's gonna have like a little, you're showing tell. Alright. It'll have like a case with like a marker and like a pen or whatnot. It'll have a general station overview. It'll have a safety and sanitation page. It'll have how to make a bucket, how to make a mop bucket. And then it'll have a station like checklist, and that'll be the checklist you're going to direct your students to when they're working on their station. It's a brief table of what they need to do to open and to close their station. And this can help if you're really busy and you don't have time to do a thorough training. You can direct them to this. It's also helpful for your reference if you can't remember everything. There's a lot for every station, so we don't expect you to remember everything. You'll want to ensure that your student is checking off every box, and you're going to be checking that particular checklist at the end of the night before you send them home to make sure that they've done that, and you'll be running through all the checklist boxes, and then you'll sign off at the end with your initial. If you do not initial this, you will be called out for that. This is your responsibility. We need to know that you are checking these so that we know if they're getting done. If it's initialed and the station was not finished, that's kind of worse. It's better if the station was finished and you did initial than the opposite. But please make sure you're checking every station. Again, you'll be split into two halves, so you don't have to check every station in the dining hall. But this way, you can hold your team accountable. You can make sure things are getting done smoothly. It's nothing really new. It's more just written down. You guys have already been doing all of this already, but we just put it in word form so you can check it off, just to make sure you're not forgetting anything if necessary.
It's helping a lot. We've been using this a lot during the summertime. And it's helping a lot of students get them done.
And
Also, we've made a lot of these for both buildings, mostly off of memory. And in my part, I have not worked every station, so I don't know everything. They might have forgotten something. So if you notice anything in here that needs to be updated in any of the binders, just let one of us know and you can get it updated.
This is currently our version 3.0. This is a well, yeah. This is our third version of this. The first two, we had a lot of help from people who were here this summer, especially Lexi. Thank you so much for pointing out all of my grammar mistakes. So if you see things like that, I think we caught most of the grammar stuff by this point, and the spelling and the capitalization. However, if you do notice anything else, or if you notice any more of those errors, please let us know, and we will fix those and reprint them, so that way they're up to date. If you see a problem, let us know. We're not infallible. Despite maybe some of you heard me say otherwise earlier this summer, that is not a true statement. It was not on record. So yeah, please let us know if there's problems, especially for commons. We really weren't working out there so much when we were writing these, so those are going to be a little more like, hey, this is a problem. This thing isn't in here. Can we please get this in here? Or if it needs to be clarified, if it needs, I don't know, if somebody wants to, we can make translations of them, like to help students. I don't know. Like this is a new concept. We're trying to make this modular, so that way it can stick around. So as stations are added or taken away, or things change, they can be updated. So it's hopefully a new piece of infrastructure for us. So yeah, if there's problems, let us know so we can invest in our infrastructure, make sure it works.
Yeah. Last bullet point, we're gonna be.
So
Yeah.
lots of these ones in the situation of problems with breakfast, which lunch comes in most of the time during the time of breakfast. How does that affect maybe those on that?
Yes. So with that breakfast, commons breakfast, so we haven't figured that out. That's gonna be basically a how does flow work? How does flow work? Like, I don't know how it work. To be honest, I haven't worked over there in the mornings, and Damon hasn't either. I don't think.
Maybe over the summer.
Yeah, but like we have
Not during the school.
Not during the school year. So for shutdown, that's a good question. I would say that responsibility for checkout still falls onto the breakfast schools. How you get, and so making sure that things get done so that things are ready for lunch is going to be there. These are made specifically for each meal shift. We try to tailor them as much as possible. Let us know if there are problems, especially with transitional meals. So, like for
together. And you'll be okay.
Yeah. So last thing is, we're kind of changing up the location for student files, especially disciplinary reports. We're gonna have a little box. You can kind of drop those in. That way, like, students can't come in and like look at discipline reports on the ship report, whatnot. Just trying to keep it more secure so it's not just out in the open for anyone to see who got a no call no show the other day, or who was late, or wasn't wearing the non-slips. So
Like, all chauffeur times, like late for that 12, 15 minutes per hour.
So we will talk about that on day 3. We have a whole new policy for all that, which will be outlined. We'll be giving you handouts. It'll be great. You'll have all the
If you read
information.
through this, it is in here. So if you want to head start to read it, we can.
You want homework.
Yeah.
It hasn't started yet. I want homework.
Okay, well, yeah, that's good. But yeah, if you want to be extra preppy, we can go ahead and do that. We'll have all those sorts of questions. If you have questions about discipline or attendance in particular, just hold off on those. They may be answered, or you may have new questions.
Yeah. And you can write them down. We gave you all little sheets, so feel free to write down your questions, and then bring them up to us. If they're not answered throughout the course of this entire training, ask them. If they're still not answered, send us an email. We're always open to questions that you may have. So,
Question before we have a learning circle.
yeah. So, that's general overview. Yeah. We can take a break. You can marinate on what we told you. Come back with questions if you want. But 10-minute break.
There's snacks.
There are
if you
snacks.
want, if you want to drink.
Yeah, there's water. Yeah. If you want to be healthy, there's also pop if you want to indulge.
Yeah. So come back around
11.
11:30.
30.